My first job as dorm mother. That is, to make breakfast for the boarders.
That's some good eating. Aoi, you're really good at cooking. Can I have some more rice?
Sure, a big bowl, right?
You know it.
I'm pretty confident in my cooking. Until recently, I was living with my father, who was ordered to transfer to the country, and every day I helped with the housework. I was in charge of preparing the meals, and it's not like I hate cooking or anything. That's one of the reasons why I accepted the job as the dorm mother. So the others don't need breakfast, huh? Since just now, no one has come into the dining hall. And sometimes there would be someone walking through the hallway in front, but they seem to be sneaking around. Kanako looked towards the hallway, just as the oldest boarder, Yuka, was peeking in before swiftly dashing off.
Jeez, they're all so naive. They still haven't gotten used to boys.
But Keifu is a co-ed school, right?
Even if you go to the same school, you won't see them with their bedheads and faces without makeup.
I see. It seems that a guy being the dorm mother of a girl's dormitory will have its problems after all. There is a reason why I accepted the job as a dorm mother at Flying Fish Manor. Not long ago, the owner-janitor collapsed. It sounds like she's pretty old, and as well as straining her back, she caught a summer cold which became aggravated. The owner soon began looking for a replacement, but it was hard to find one. Then she sought help from the real estate company where my mother works. This is one of the properties that my mom manages, and is an old acquaintance of the owner from decades ago. She nominated me for this job, just as I was planning to come back here. On the documents, my mom is the one responsible for this place, but she got me to carry out the practical duties, in other words, the work of the dorm mother. Then that became the condition for me coming back to this town. As always, she's very crafty, but I wasn't really against the idea, so I accepted. If I had known it was a girls' dormitory, of course, I would have refused. This place is old, a little far from the school, but the rent is cheap. Apart from the food and admin expenses, it costs next to nothing. That's why it would be a big problem for me if I couldn't stay here. And if in the worst case scenario, the boarders wouldn't be able to go to school. So for now it seems that everyone has accepted a guy as the dorm mother.
Thanks for the meal. Whew, that was good.
Kanako stacked up the dishes on the counter and licked her lips in satisfaction.
Everyone will get used to you soon. Well then, I'm off now.
She had eaten it all. Not even a single grain of rice was left. To have people enjoy my cooking feels pretty good. I feel deeply relieved. I'm happy that things are going well. Ah, jeez! I better get ready for school. In the entrance of the dormitory, there was Kotori. She was dressed in her uniform and looked like she was about to go to school. Morning, Kotori.
Morning.
Are you going to school? Shall we go together?
Huh? Why do you want to do that?
Why, well...
If you're worried about my legs, then there's no need.
She put it bluntly as she quickly went out the front door. I don't have any friends at school, so I was just asking. It looked like we'd had a strange misunderstanding. Wearing my new uniform, I make my way to school. I'm a dorm mother, but also a student of Keifu Academy. I mean, this is my real occupation. Today is my first day at my new school. I'm not really the shy type, but I guess I am kind of nervous. I would say that the school I was going to before was a sports-focused all-boys school. Keifu Academy, the school I'll be going to now, is an engineering school, and a co-ed. And the school traditions are quite different, too. As I was walking the streets that led to the school, there are more and more groups of people wearing the same uniform. This is the same area in which I lived 5 years ago. There should be a few people that I know, but most of the people who I'd recognize went on to regular schools. I wonder if the ones who chose to go to Keifu Academy remember me. Even if I only know one person, it would make a big difference. There'll be more weird misunderstandings with Miss Olul, too. Oh yeah, which school do Ageha and the others go to? They're my childhood friends who I always played with when I was a kid. There's Ageha, Mabo, Hotaru, and An. Out of that group, Ageha and Mabo are the same age as me, but we haven't met in 5 years, and haven't really stayed in touch. We just managed to exchange New Year's cards, but that reminds me. In the corner of last year's New Year card, I think there was a small message about which school we were planning to go to. What did it say? A lot of things happened, or maybe I'm just lazy, but I haven't told anyone apart from An that I'm coming back. To be honest, I'm not even sure how I should be if I met them. With the ones like Ageha, she'd probably smash my face in. She'd say, "Why didn't you contact me?" or something. She looked and acted like a real tomboy. When I remember the past, it makes me smile, but...
Hey.
At the point where two streets leading to the school meet, there was a girl wearing a KFU uniform standing there, looking towards me. The other girls that she was walking to school with asked, "What's up?" and seemed puzzled as they spoke to her. However, it seems that the girl can't hear him, and she's staring over here, at me. Just faintly, her eyes seem full of surprise. She's pretty cute. Without realizing, I'd stopped walking and was staring at the girl. Until a few days ago, I was at an all-boys school. The sight of a girl on the way to school in her uniform, she was pretty cute too, causing me to get palpitations is perfectly reasonable.
Is that you, Aoi?
Yes, it is. Suddenly having someone call my name in such a carefree manner made me feel a little nervous. Who is it?
It is you, Aoi! No way, it really is you!
There, she said my name again, and she has such a happy expression on her face. Do I know any girls this cute? No, wait. I've seen this face before. When she smiles like this, and her eyes sparkle like a little kid's. Is that you, Ageha?
Yeah, of course it's me, Ageha. Did you forget my face?
She asked as she briskly moved closer, bringing her face right up to mine. It's definitely Ageha. She's changed a lot, but if I just look in her face, there's no doubt it's her. Is it really that Ageha?
Yeah, very funny. How many other Agehas do you know? 100% authentic. The real Ageha Himegi.
What is it? What is it? Said the other girls as they gathered around in a circle. Ageha turned to face them and introduced me.
This is Aoi Hinase. He's a transfer student. You remember him, don't you, Sachin?
Sachin replied, "No way, Aoi?" As she warmly raised her voice in surprise. When we were in 4th grade of elementary school, we were in the same class once.
Aoi and I are childhood friends. He used to live here, but he got transferred to another school, right?
The girls seemed impressed by Ageha's explanation as they looked at me with their eyes full of expectation. "Nice to meet you. I'm Aoi Hinase." In front of all these girls in their uniforms, I greeted them all with a stern look on my face as I tried to hide my embarrassment. Ageha laughed as she looked on with relish. I never thought I would find myself doing introductions in the street on the way to school like this, so I was totally unprepared. I'll say it again. Let me do it again. I could hear Miss Alol's words in the back of my mind.
You've gotten taller. I didn't recognize you at first.
As she spoke, Ageha was moving her hands around my head to show the difference in height between myself and her. Our bodies were making contact, but she either didn't notice or didn't really mind. I flinched slightly, but the fact that she was so unreserved actually made me feel more comfortable.
Back in the day, we used to have such good matches. Boys are so unfair.
Speaking of which, you've changed too.
Really?
As she said, "You think so?" she looked at herself. "Yeah, you always looked like a boy, so I was surprised to see that you became a girl." Those were my honest thoughts, but I said them in a way that sounded weird. I thought she might find it slightly charming, but...
So, I've become quite the woman, haven't I?
Ageha laughed happily and did a little turn on the spot. The force of her spin made her skirt float around gently. Yeah, it's like you're not really Ageha. While dazed and not really thinking, those thoughts just kind of slipped out.
Yay! All right!
Ageha was pleased and did high fives with her friends. Seeing her in high spirits like that was just like old times. Ageha, my best friend during my childhood, hadn't changed in the 5 years that had passed. Her appearance was surprising, though. The lessons on my first day at my new school flew by in the blink of an eye. Between the language and social study lessons taught in regular schools were those from a specialist curriculum. I was still in the 2nd grade, so there aren't that many, but it looks like when you go into the 3rd and 4th grades, the number of these specialist classes increases. By the way, this is a 5-year school. That's why when walking the hallways, this kind of thing happens. Hey, she's pretty. Coming from an all-boys school with its sad customs, I couldn't help my eyes from following the girls as I walked past them.
Oh, so you're already checking out the girls?
No, that's not it. I just thought they looked really grown up, that's all.
They're seniors from 4th and 5th grades, aren't they?
At our age, a gap of 3 or 4 years is pretty big. The students in the upper grades look very mature.
Also, although this is a special school, the percentage of girls is pretty high.
Why is that? Without thinking, I really took an interest in that. And Ageha looked at me as if she wanted to call me a pervert.
At the time the school was built, they made an effort to accept more girls.
I had heard about that before I transferred.
They increased the number of courses for girls and asked famous designers to make designs for the new building.
It has been said, thanks to that, the ratio of boys to girls is about 50-50, which is one of the selling points of the school. Bearing this in mind, I felt uneasy about choosing this school as the one I would transfer to, but I'd like people to think that it can't be helped because I'm from an all-boys school. By the way, it's now lunchtime. Ageha is in the middle of giving me a guided tour of the school building. Yeah, but this really is an amazing school. The school itself is pretty old, due to it being a special kind of school, of course. It's famous in the local area. I've known about it too since I was a little kid. The school building has been rebuilt over the last few years, with the renovations divided into several stages, the last of which was completed just 1 year ago. It's said that is because of the famous designers. The design uses many curved lines, so the appearance is far removed from what is generally associated with the word school. It felt like I had entered some kind of sci-fi setting.
The facilities here are first class too. Air conditioning, full disabled access, so anyone can feel peace of mind when they spend their school days here.
Disabled access? That's right. Miss Kotori, should be somewhere in this school.
But Aoi, you really have changed.
Ageha, as she walked by my side, was happily murmuring as she looked at my face.
In the past, your face was cuter, but now it seems more rugged somehow.
Yeah, same to you.
Hey! I don't look rugged!
If she knew that when we met on the way to school earlier, I thought, she's pretty cute, she'd never let it go. So I'd better keep quiet.
If I hadn't heard it from Anchan, I never would have realized.
You heard it from Anchan?
Yes, that you were coming back.
By the way, I'm in the same class as Ageha. She knew that I might be coming as a transfer student, which is why she wasn't surprised by our chance meeting this morning.
Hey you, if you were going to come back, you should have contacted me.
Sorry. The reason why we call him Anchan isn't because he's like an older brother type guy. He was our childhood friend, but he was much older than us, so we nicknamed him Anchan. He's not related by blood, but he's just like an older brother. Ageha glared at me and said, "Geez," as I tried to laugh it off.
The older me would have made you taste the axe bomber lariat.
She wouldn't really have hit me. As we talked, we went back to the classroom. The classrooms weren't exactly normal either. I felt a little uneasy taking lessons here, but maybe I'll get used to it sometime soon. By the way, there's a girl in a wheelchair in this school, right?
Miss she's called Kotori Habane.
I asked Ageha as we returned to our seats. I didn't ask what grade she was in, but even if it's not the same, I thought Ageha would at least be aware of her.
Yeah.
Ageha reacted like she was being evasive. It wasn't just Ageha, but the other people sitting nearby who heard our conversation also seemed kind of awkward.
If you're after Kotori, she's in this class. Looks like she's not here today, though.
After Ageha said that, somebody added, "You mean today either, don't you?" The way she said that seemed quite harsh. That can't be, I thought about explaining that she had just left the dormitory this morning in her uniform, but I held my tongue. The atmosphere was kind of strange.
Recently, she's been off school for a long time. Seems like she's not feeling well.
Not feeling well? Yesterday she had went out to Windmill Hill, and then later she was chasing the duck around the halls of the dormitory. This morning she left wearing her uniform. Is she skipping school? However, more worrying than what Kotori was up to is the reaction of the others in the class when they heard us talking about her. Even Ageha looked like she had something she wanted to say, but couldn't. But I don't know what the situation is, so I can't really say anything.
Hey, Yamamoto! Could you lend me your English dictionary?
As the awkwardness started to fade, an optimistic voice called out. From the entrance of the classroom, a carefree-looking guy poked his head and started speaking to a boy in our class.
Oh, good timing. Hey, Mabao.
What is it, Ageha? You want something?
The guy known as Ma Bao came into the classroom.
Harry-chan's in a bad mood because you and I are friends. That's what you might call jealousy, right?
Whatever, come with me.
Huh? Who's this? A transfer student? Ageha's pretty cute, but she's like a dude on the inside, so watch out.
Ageha and I both looked blankly at him for a moment.
What?
Long time no see, Mabo.
Huh?
Why is this transfer student being so buddy-buddy with me, his face seemed to say. It's me. Have you forgotten me?
It's me, you say? Huh? What? Is that you, Aoi?
I looked at Ageha and she wanted to surprise him, so it seems like she intentionally didn't tell him. This slightly superficial guy is Masatsugu Tasaki, or Mabo as we call him. He's our childhood friend.
Why is Aoi here? So, is he a transfer student? Huh? What?
You're way too surprised.
Of course I'm surprised. What?
You seem well, Mabo. You've grown pretty well. Masatsugu used to be really small, but now he was about the same size as me. It's not quite like the change in Ageha, but in the 5 years that have passed since we were kids, it looks like he's grown to about twice the size.
You too!
We grabbed each other by the right hand. This was instead of a small, quiet greeting.
Is it really you, Aoi?
Yeah, I'm back, Mabo.
Welcome back, Aoi!
This time, BAM! He gave me a full-on hug. Hey!
Okay, so this is what they call passionate friendship, huh?
We were the only ones who thought so, whereas all the girls around us were totally freaked out.
I missed you, Aoi.
What?
No, not really, you traitor!
Mabo suddenly backed off and thrust his finger at me at the end of my nose. What is this all of a sudden?
I thought you just up and left, and you didn't even contact me. Do you even know what Ageha and I have been through, you jerk?
No, you can't involve me in this.
And after that, how dare you?
I'm sorry, but it's not my fault that I had to move away. If you want to complain, say it to my dad. I thought about writing a letter, but I felt kind of embarrassed. For the most part, the fact that there was no contact was both our faults.
You traitor! I'll never forgive you! I hate you! You're an idiot!
With saliva flying out of his mouth, as he emphasized his words, Mabo forgot all about borrowing the English dictionary, and he stormed out of the classroom.
Are you a little kid or something?
It wasn't just us, but everyone in the classroom was shocked.
I thought this might happen, which is why I didn't tell him. If he'd known, he'd be going off at full throttle like that from the very beginning.
I think that was the correct decision. I wanted to say thank you. Even so, he did seem really upset about it.
He recently got a girlfriend and he's really into her. When we were kids, he'd always say, "Aoi, Ageha, wait!" as he followed us everywhere he went. It's fine. He'll soon go back to how he always is. That guy really likes you, Aoi.
Don't say it like that. It sounds weird.
Really? I think it's cute.
While we carried on talking, the bell to mark the end of lunchtime sounded. Everyone put away their lunchboxes and got ready for the next lesson. Ageha went back to her seat and stopped halfway, then walked back. What's up? Ageha seemed concerned about those around us and lowered her voice.
I was wondering how you knew about Kotori.
Well, the truth is, my mom asked me to be the dorm mother of a student dormitory. I lowered my voice so that those around us couldn't hear.
The caretaker of the dormitory?
Kotori is boarding there.
Oh, really?
My mom asked me to take good care of Kotori. Even if she hadn't, I'd be worried about her anyway. As she listened to my explanation, Ageha thought it over. Her expression darkened somehow.
If it carries on like this, she'll stop coming to school altogether. Everyone's worried about her. It looks like she's not really enjoying school.
It looked as if she was saying, I can't believe she doesn't enjoy school. You seem to enjoy it.
Me? Of course I do. It's a fun school, that's why.
I guess. It was still my first day at the new school, but I was enjoying it quite a lot too.
Really? Is that so?
Whether or not she was convinced by my story, Ageha mumbled something or other as she returned to her seat. After school, I was alone and was wandering around the school building. This was so I could take a look at some of the club activities. Film studies, theater club, There's even an RC club. This is, after all, a specialist school. Looking at the playing field from the window in the heat outside, I saw the sports club practicing. Compared to my school, it's pretty calm. The sports clubs at the school I used to go to were taken very seriously. The sight of training before a match was one of grueling harshness. Wait, what do I mean my school? I'm a student of this school now. I'll go take a look. I went down next to the playing field to watch the sports clubs practicing. Before long, I started to feel a little down, so I left. The doctor said that if it's light exercise, it shouldn't be a problem. I tried stamping down strongly with my right foot, and there isn't really any discomfort. There, the baseball club, which was returning through the off-campus running course, entered through the school gates.
Hey, Minase! It's you, Minase, isn't it?
The one calling me was an old acquaintance. It's you, Taguchi! It's been a long time.
So, you came back. Have you decided which club you want to join?
No, not yet. I'm going round taking a look now.
Join the baseball club. You'll become a regular in no time.
When I was a kid, I often played baseball in the park. Some of the guys in my group that were teammates or on the other team were in the baseball team. I'll think about it. I casually responded, and the baseball team members replied, "Come on, join us, seriously," as they returned to the baseball field. If I could do physical activities, baseball, or in fact, anything would be okay. As I grumbled to myself, I felt that I didn't want to go back to the playing field, so I entered the path leading to the back of the school. I spent a while walking around the back of the school. It was called the rear garden, but it looked like it hadn't been taken care of at all, and it was just an empty space with weeds growing everywhere. In the empty space, there was a garage. Hello? I'm coming in. It looks like no one's here, but I thought I should say something to let them know, just in case. Is this place used for club activities too? Or is it used for lessons? I don't know what they're used for, but there are many tools crammed onto the shelves that cover the walls. Then in the center is a huge object covered with a sheet. The feeling that had washed over me like a wave when I watched the sports club strangely subsided from being here. The tools in the dimly lit garage must have reminded me of the times when I would tinker with my bicycle. What is this used for? Conceal the sound of my footsteps as I sneak inside the garage. It's pretty spacious. There's a tea set here too. There's no doubt about it, someone was using this space. I get a strange sense of activity. I guess it must be one of the clubs. Whoa! There's someone here. I was so surprised, it felt like my heart was going to jump out. The person over there seemed to have not noticed me at all. I'm not sure if you could call it a drawing board as she stared at the plans that were placed there. She was kind of groaning. I'm sorry for letting myself in here. I'll be going now. It's no good, she didn't hear me. Her eyes were so serious as she stared at the plans, and she looked like she was really concentrating. I didn't know what to do, so I just looked at her from the side. Now that I look closely, she's really beautiful. Hey, why am I staring at her? I hurriedly looked away. However, it looks as if she still hasn't noticed me, so I take another glimpse. She looks quite mature. Is she in the 5th grade? She's so pretty. Kotori is pretty too, but this person is different and has a mysterious charm. She suddenly stood up. I'm sorry. Without thinking, I avert my eyes and apologize, but she's looking straight past me and grabs a big, thick book from the shelf.
Yes, that's it!
She flicked through the pages and looked like she had found something before going straight back to her seat. In good spirits, she began swiftly drawing the plans. The pen made a nice swish-swish sound as it ran across the page. The feeling of maturity that she had until just now suddenly changed. When she smiles, all of a sudden, she looks more like a kid. As her eyes looked straight at the plans, they looked as though they had a crystal-clear purity to them. Just like an innocent child, her eyes looked as though she believed that the world is full of wonderful, sparkling things.
There we go!
Her hand stopped moving. I got the timing right. Excuse me. She finally noticed me.
Oh, hello.
Even though I had unexpectedly appeared like that, she didn't show any signs of caution, and still in good spirits, she smiled as she greeted me. Hi. I thought that I should say something to her, but I didn't think of what to say after that.
What's up?
I'm sorry that I just let myself in here. I just transferred here today, but I was taking a look at the club activities and I got lost and came in here. I got a little carried away and said more than I needed, but she didn't seem interested at all. She looked at me as if to say, yes, and?
I don't mind if you let yourself in here.
It seemed like a blunt way to say it, but she wasn't angry or anything. She has a strange way of speaking. Well, I'm sorry. I'd better go. As I said that like a total loser, a huge sound echoed through the garage. What's that noise?
I'm hungry.
With a lack of energy in her voice, the beautiful girl before me held her stomach and fell down onto the drawing board. Was that the sound of your stomach just now? We're inside the garage, so the sound echoed like crazy and sounded like the growl of a monster.
Looks like my body just remembered that my stomach is empty.
She seemed to sway as she tried to get up, but she didn't have enough energy, so she slumped back down with her cheek on the drawing board. Would you like to eat this? I took some bread out of my bag. I thought I'd get hungry with just a lunchbox, so at lunchtime I bought some melon bread.
Wow!
Her eyes shone as if she were an explorer who had discovered a treasure in a cave in some unexplored place.
Are you sure?
Go ahead.
Thank you!
She took the melon bread, opened the wrapper immediately, and bit into the contents. She was getting crumbs everywhere, but looked like she was enjoying it as she devoured greedily.
It's so tasty. I haven't had any calorie intake for ages.
Could that be because she's poor? The fact that she was so ecstatic over melon bread actually made me quite worried. She didn't show any signs that she was thinking of my generosity and just ate up the high-calorie melon bread.
That was delicious.
She murmured happily. Looking as happy as can be, she looked like she was mulling over the taste of the melon bread in her brain.
The sugar is going to my brain.
She said as she turned back to the drawing board. Then she started drawing the plans again with incredible energy. From the serious look on her face, it seemed that she had already forgotten about me. She's strange. Not just a little, but very strange. Okay, well, I'll be off now. Perhaps she didn't hear me. I put the melon bread wrapper that she had left behind in my pocket and turned to leave. I reluctantly left the special atmosphere of the garage behind. Well then, maybe I should head back. By the time I had finished watching the various clubs, the sky was orange as the sun was setting. Ageha was at the school gates. Ageha looked towards me and points the cell phone she was holding at me.
I thought if you were still here, we could leave together. I called you several times, but you didn't answer.
I told Ageha that I would like to take a look at the club activities before leaving.
Can you look at your cell history?
I left it at the dormitory.
Huh? Why? That defeats the purpose of having a cell phone!
Doesn't it say in the school rules that you can't bring cell phones to school?
Yes, that's true, but... Does anyone actually follow that rule?
It's alright if you don't get caught, it seems. In my case, I'm not so worried about the school rules. It's just too bothersome to carry a cell phone around with me.
Even though I got your number, it still doesn't mean anything.
How do you know my number? 5 years ago when I left Kazagaura, I was still a kid, so I didn't have a cell phone.
I got it from Anchan earlier. He gave me your text address too, so I can bombard you with texts.
What? Don't bother, it's too much hassle. Writing text on a cell phone is too fiddly, which is a real pain, so I really don't like it. But it looks like Ageha isn't listening to me and started walking on ahead.
Okay, shall we head back? How was your first day at your new school?
It seems like an interesting school. It was different to the sports schools or regular schools, and has a special kind of atmosphere to it. Everyone looks like they enjoy it, and it's, how should I say, like they come here to hang out.
You could say that. Everyone comes out here because there are things that they want to do.
Thing they want to do.
Have you found a club you want to join?
I don't know. There were a few that seemed interesting, though.
Here, the sports clubs aren't that great, so you might find them kind of lacking.
What do you do, Ageha?
I'm in the robot club. We make robots and enter contests.
Robots? That sounds interesting, too.
You're always welcome, Aoi.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Well then, I'm going this way.
Huh? Isn't your place around here?
Yeah, but I moved. Didn't you know that the Kazumi shopping street is no longer there because of the reconstruction?
No way, seriously?
They've made a huge shopping mall. My family shop has moved there too. I'll take you there when we have a day off, okay? See you tomorrow.
Hey.
What?
Thanks for everything today.
It's fine, it's fine. If you just buy me a parfait next time, that'll be enough.
No, I mean that you're the same way towards me as in the past.
Sure.
That was a big help.
Me too. Apart from your appearance, you haven't changed a bit. And your appearance isn't that bad either. This is leaking some secret information, but today, a few girls asked me to give them your phone number.
Seriously?
Correction. You've got quite an eye for the ladies, haven't you, Aoi?
So what? I didn't have that kind of thing at an all-boys school.
Well, it proves you're a normal, healthy boy. In the time since we last met, you've grown up.
Ageha looked happy as she said that. So have you? To be honest, I thought she would grow up to be more rough and tomboyish.
That's right.
Huh?
Ageha started smiling quietly. Looking at that innocent smile reminded me of how Ageha was when she was still just a kid.
Welcome back, Aoi.
Yeah.
See you again tomorrow, old buddy.
Ouch! She gave me a big slap on the back.
See ya.
Ageha gave me a big wave and turned the corner. Ouch, you doofus! She might have gotten a little cuter, but she hadn't changed on the inside. Welcome back, huh? Her attitude hasn't really changed since before, and somehow I felt that it had saved me. After Ageha and I went our separate ways, I did the shopping for dinner on the way back. It's gonna be hot again tomorrow, so I have to give them some food that'll give them stamina. Enthusiastically, I put the menu together in my head. Oh no, I forgot to buy milk! There was a convenience store right in front of me. 5 years ago, there was a tobacconist here. It's a little expensive, but I don't have time to go back to the supermarket, I thought to myself.
La la la.
The automatic doors opened, and the one with the self-proclaimed cool allure left the shop. She had a bag on her lap, and she had a smile on her face which was the exact opposite of cool. She didn't notice me and went back in the direction of the dormitory. It's her. She didn't go to school, so what is she doing? I gave up on buying milk and followed Kotori. When she got back to the dormitory, Kotori opened the front door just slightly.
Hat! Hat!
She called Hat from the other side of the door and spoke to him about something. She was sneaking around and seemed really suspicious.
Go and see if he's here or not. You know, that guy. That mean boy.
Is she talking about me? This is a girls' dormitory, so I'm the only boy here. I don't remember being mean, though. I don't know why, but it would appear that she is sneaking around to avoid being found by me. If that's how you feel. I headed for the back door to the dormitory. I'll hide in the kitchen for now. Shh! If this is about me, tell her I'm not here. I doubt that he got the message, but he wiggled his butt and left the dining hall and headed for the entrance. While I'm waiting in ambush, I'll put the food I bought in the fridge. After a while...
Looks like he's not here. All right.
When Kotori came into the dining hall, she went straight for the cupboard and took out a spoon. Without taking out a dish, she stayed seated in her wheelchair. She put the shopping bag from the convenience store on the table. Inside was...
Hargendarch?
Needless to say, it was a top-quality ice cream. Not only that, but it was family size. It's the big pot that cost 2,500 yen. She opened the lid, and in her right hand she had the type of spoon you'd eat things like curry with.
I'm finally going to do it!
Kotori's spoon was still above the smooth surface of the Hargendarch. Then she dug a big hole in it.
One spoon like that would be worth about 100 yen, and she stuffed the whole thing in one mouthful.
Phew! I'm so happy!
She brought her hand to her cheek, as though she was flooding in happiness from the bottom of her heart. What is she doing? Seeing what she was doing made hiding and watching her seem pretty ridiculous. Without knowing I was watching, Kotori began to shovel in more ice cream like a construction machine.
Yum, yum, yummy, yummy!
Even if it was only 105 yen ice cream, you'd savor the flavor more than that.
Yum, yum, it's so yummy!
With the next mouthful of ice cream, Kotori suddenly lowered her head, holding her temples.
I'm okay. Just a little brain freeze.
To be able to get a brain freeze from eating too much Harjendach is the very height of luxury.
During this little pause, Kotori opened up her notebook. There is something written there. I sneak up a little closer behind her. Shh. Next to the words, "Eat as much Harjendach as I want," Kotori happily wrote the word "done."
Haha, mission complete.
It seemed to be some sort of list. Things I want to do. That was the title, and there were bullet points below. Stroke the head of the big dog in the neighborhood. It's really scary, but it might be unexpectedly friendly. If possible, I'd like to run around on its back. Fill the bath with water and swim in it like a pool. Pie throwing, and so on. Among these was, go and see Windmill Hill, with done written next to it. What is this?
Eek!
Whoa! Kotori's scream pierced from my right ear and out my left.
What are you doing? Why are you here?
I was here before you were.
But there's no way.
Her mouth was open in shock as she looked at Hat. Well, I guess it's no good sending in a duck to scout the place out. Even if he was able to completely grasp what his responsibility was, there's no way he could convey the message. Kotori seemed ashamed and looked away. I'm sorry if I surprised you. You were sneaking around, so I wondered what you were doing. I didn't mean to spoil her personal enjoyment.
You really are mean.
I went back to the kitchen to get things ready for dinner. Kotori's face seemed to say, now it only tastes half as good, as she sulkily ate the ice cream. Why are you taking time off school?
I got a cold.
She's blatantly lying. Would someone who has caught a cold be eating ice cream? I'm the dorm mother, you know. I have to make sure the boarding students have the right kind of lifestyle.
I don't remember accepting you as the dorm mother. Anyway, isn't it strange for a boy to be a dorm mother?
She went to the trouble of turning around so she could point at me. If you want to call me dorm father, then that's fine by me. Kotori turned back around and went back to enjoying her ice cream. If you weren't at school, then where were you? I softened my tone a little as I asked her.
It's got nothing to do with you.
Did you go back to Windmill Hill? She ignored me and continued eating her ice cream. Does it have something to do with me?
I won't accept you as the dorm mother.
I don't mean that. Yesterday, if I hadn't been passing by, where would you be right now? If you're not careful in a place like that, then maybe nobody would have come. If you can't move your wheelchair, what would you have done by yourself?
That's...
Do you still think it's got nothing to do with me? I'm not trying to accuse her of anything. That's why I try to speak as gently as possible, so as not to sound too harsh. However, I showed her how serious I was.
Look, I said thank you, didn't I? For me to thank anyone is extremely rare, you know. It's true. It's as rare as a giant salamander. You should be the one thanking me.
Are you proud of that? If you think that people would be happy because it's so rare, you're severely mistaken. Kotori seemed daunted by the sound of this argument, put down the spoon and started thinking seriously.
But because I'm like this, I can't do anything. Do you want some ice cream? It's really expensive.
No, I don't. I sounded a little mean, so Kotori became tearful all of a sudden. Her cheeks were quivering as she desperately tried to hold back the tears. Hey, I'm sorry, I was joking. Don't make that face.
It's nothing. I'm fine.
That's right, see? You're fine.
Quack, quack!
Hat quacked as though he was trying to cheer Kotori up. I wouldn't tell you to say thank you, would I? It's just that if you go out without telling anyone where you're going, it's kind of dangerous, you know? She wiped the corner of her eye a little with her finger.
I understand, but I don't want to understand.
Somehow that's what the look of her face said. She put the spoon down and went to leave the dining hall. Where are you going?
I'm going to wash my face. It's all sticky around my mouth from where I've been eating ice cream.
She closed the notebook and put it on her lap. Then a piece of paper fell from the notebook. You dropped something. Kotori looked as though she hadn't heard and left the dining hall. Hat went after her. As the sound of the wheelchair grew farther away, I let out a big sigh. Maybe I said too much. It's just that I was really worried about her. I don't know anything about what's going on with Kotori, so perhaps I was unnecessarily interfering. Wait. Speaking of which, she was wearing her uniform. However, she was wearing her own clothes yesterday when she went to Windmill Hill. Could it be that she was planning on actually going to school? That's possible, isn't it? As I thought of that, I felt my mood lighten a little, and I picked up the piece of paper that she had dropped. Huh? For a moment, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was a notice for withdrawal from school.
Hey, cheer up, Aoi.
I was depressed while I was cleaning up after dinner, and Kanako came to comfort me. Why did everyone leave so much uneaten?
It was really tasty, though.
For tonight's dinner, Kanako was the only one who ate all her food. Without exception, everyone else left some uneaten. Tomorrow, I'll make even more tasty food, so tasty that no one will leave anything uneaten. I felt renewed determination, and then the duck came waddling into the dining hall.
Hello, Senior Hat. What? I see. You're hungry. Aoi, do you have something for him to eat?
There's some vegetables left over.
That'll do.
Kanako took the leftover vegetables and fed them to Hat. Is this duck her pet? Are you allowed to have pets here?
Nope, he's no one's pet. What? He's been living here since before I came here. It's not clear who brought him here or when, but that's why I call him Senior Hat.
So the owner must have been keeping him.
No, that's not it either. She said that Hat just appeared one day. That's why, rather than being a pet, he's more like a housemate.
Kotori also called him a housemate.
What?
It's a mystery. Once she had finished feeding Hat, Kanako got out of her seat.
Okay, I think I'll go take a bath.
Don't go walking around in your underwear again, okay?
Huh? Why not? Come on, it's summer.
No!
Spoil sport.
Kanako gave me a quick insult as she left the dining hall. Why does everyone have to insult me just before they leave? I felt a little hurt as I cleaned the dishes. This time, it was Kotori poking her head into the dining hall. It was almost as if she was waiting for Kanako to leave before she came in. She doesn't seem to get along well with her, so maybe she really was waiting for her to leave. I thought she might have come to have dinner, but she appeared to be looking for something. She's looking under the table.
Hat, you're in my way.
She came round the table once, then came past the counter in front of me.
Hey, have you seen a piece of paper?
No, I haven't. What kind of paper?
Paper's paper. Are you sure you haven't seen it?
Positive. Kotori groaned while staring at my face as if she was trying to see if I was telling the truth. With a straight face, I wiped the dishes with a towel. With no way to check, she went to look elsewhere. I'll put your dinner in the fridge. Heat it up in the microwave and eat it later, okay? I couldn't help lying to her. The thing she was looking for was the withdrawal notice that I'd picked up. People were worried that if it carries on like this, she'll stop coming altogether. It looks as though she's not really enjoying school. Ageha's words crossed my mind. It looked like Kotori was planning to drop out of school. What am I doing? Why didn't I give the withdrawal notice back to her? There I stood, not even really understanding those feelings myself.
Everyone, the new member is here!
Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Seriously? You brought a boy?
Jay, what a nice surprise!